Welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I'm here with Paul. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Tell me a little bit about Cuthbert, as in tell me a little bit about the thinking that went on as you kind of put Cuthbert together. I mean, not literally.
Now, I've got a particular path in mind for Cuthbert.
Right.
Which I did a bit of research on. I thought, that sounds like fun.
Are we talking about a crunchy rules thing?
Crunchy rules thing.
Okay.
So my first things first was to go, right, at this level I need to do this, at this level I need to do this, at this level I need to do this. And I've got that written down somewhere.
Yeah, don't lose it.
No.
Because it doesn't sound like you can remember it.
I can't remember. It is in Hero Lab. It's one of my notes in Hero Lab.
Right.
So I then thought, well, we need a bit of a backstory. And so we had a chat about backstories. And then there was the whole, right, well, I need a character. And because we're recording things, there's got to be a bit more to him than we would normally do, because we're normally very, how can I put it? We're at the other end of the spectrum.
What are you saying here?
Well, we are at the other end of the spectrum from those who do who do role playing with.
You're articulating it so succinctly and cleanly. It's.
I do that.
I think what you might be saying is that there is a spectrum of approaches to role playing, and maybe you could, if you were to maybe oversimplify things, say that at one end of the spectrum was a kind of very role play, character driven way of playing, and at the other end is basically a board game where you run around and kill things. And we definitely are at that board killing things and taking their stuff.
But we don't do as much background, and we don't necessarily think about the characters to such a degree.
No.
For years, we've all tended to play the similar kind of characters. I don't think I've ever really played any kind of arcane magic user.
Haven't you?
No, I
suppose you haven't, have you?
I've played clerics, but other than clerics, I've tended to play rangers and fighters. What I hadn't done before is go, right, well, he needs a background. He needs a place he's come from. He needs much more to be in tune with his age and his background. So, he's a teenager. He hasn't done this before. He comes from, that kind of domineering parents and grandmother kind of thing before.
Wealthy family.
So that does actually change the way I play him.
Right.
He is perpetually terrified, but perpetually feeling in need of proving himself.
Yes.
Which is why he does kind of launch into things, but is not very good at it and all slightly nervous about it.
So, I mean, just last episode, he rescued a kid. He rescued Morklet Spenge, the runaway kid. Okay, so and that kind of impetuous behaviour is part of his makeup, the way that you see him.
Yes, and even down to like throwing ball bearings, because that's.
Yeah.
Well, it's something another character I played probably wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah. So slightly impetuous, but at the same time, everything is new, everything is scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And occasionally terrifying, but at the same time driven to be in the front. He will go forward, whereas other characters tend to go the other way.
He's a fighter, but he acts a lot like a rogue. And I mean, to the point where Johnny is convinced that you're running some kind of assassin character. That you're sort of, I think he's very suspicious. Every time you do anything which is non-fightery, he's like, well, how do you know how to do that? Or how do you do... I think he thinks that something else is going on.
Thieves' Picks and Tools might have kind of given
Thieves' Picks and Tools made him annoyed. Stealth, really good stealth.
Very stealthy.
There was something else you could do. Anyway, whatever. I think he's pretty much convinced himself that you're not being honest about what Cuthbert is. But hey.
Well... Cuthbert's on a journey, and maybe Cuthbert doesn't entirely know himself yet. But I hate that
player. I hate that.
You hate that Cuthbert's on a journey.
On a journey. I mean,
he's on a journey.
He's on a journey. It's
not. How would you describe it then?
I think you can say that
there's a plan.
Yeah, you have a plan for the character in terms of crunch.
Yeah.
Without the specifics, because clearly you can't recall them. Without opening up Hero Lab to remind yourself, what broadly was this idea about this progression? What are you going to do? Take different classes, or?
Yeah, well, he's going to go multi-class, which is again is something I've.
Where are you going to multi-class? I don't mean as in physically.
In my bedroom.
I wouldn't know about that. Try and keep it to D&D. I mean, as in, at what stage, like what level are you thinking of starting to take levels of different classes?
Third level.
Third level, okay.
I think so.
And have you got an idea about what that class might be?
I think it's a good thing to keep to myself.
Third level, it's like a signature level in D&D 5.
Yes.
Stuff happens at third level.
Yeah.
So if you at third level opt to take first level in another class, you'll be foregoing some of the things that you get at third level in fighter, which, if I recall correctly, is picking your, is it archetype?
Yeah.
So you will not be making that choice and picking up whatever that is.
I will have maxed out on some things as fighter that I can max out on.
Are you dipping? As in, is the fighter to get maximum hit points at first level, the ability to do second wind,
yes,
get a bit of fighting clout, and then say goodbye to fighter forever? Or are you going to sort of maintain a balance between a couple of classes or whatever?
I think I'll say goodbye to fighter forever.
That's very interesting. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to know any more about that. Anyway, now, what are we not meant to forget to say to our reader, Paul?
Our reader, we're going to implore our reader, please,
yes.
could you subscribe on whichever podcast channel you wish to.
Subscribe, rate, and review in Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or whatever it is you use. See if we can get up to double figures.
Or just 2 people.
2 people. See if we can get to our second reader. And that's kind of it. I think we will push on. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Mike.
It was interesting to chat about Cuthbert. And so without further ado, we will get into episode 5. No, there's Gnoll Edmonds.
I like that one.
And welcome back. We are hello. Playing D&D, and I've got the usual guys with me. I'm here with Lucas. Hello, Lucas.
Yes, hello.
Okay.
Sorry, I know. God.
And Dan, evening Dan. Hello. Hello, Dan. Graham, hello, Graham.
Good evening.
Good evening, Graham. And Paul is with us.
Dear.
Yep. Hello.
Johnny is with us with his 41 years of D&D experience. Hello. Where we left things, our little gaggle of slightly shambolic adventurers had dropped down a sinkhole from a tomb. They'd opened up that sinkhole by playing around with the sarcophagus in the middle of the tomb. If you don't know what any of that means, then it's a little bit late for you. And they explored a level that they found under the tomb. While you were kind of exploring downstairs, you heard a noise from upstairs, from back where you'd already been. It was the sound of a small child being pursued by some outlaws. And Cuthbert Ouch Splinter, the fighter, clambered back up the sinkhole and rescued the kid from kind of under the noses of these outlaws who, as far as you are aware, are themselves unaware that you're anywhere nearby. One of those outlaws you had seen peering down the sinkhole at you, holding a torch up. So they can't see the bottom and they can't see you because you've doused all your lights. And at the same time as that, you surmise that these outlaws, these bandits, have discovered that you can turn the sarcophagus and trigger events. And it sounds like they have moved the sarcophagus, you think probably to the yellow passageway, and have summoned the elevator. One other thing, you've been looking for lanterns. There's a missing lantern in the room upstairs, and that missing lantern is the red lantern. And Cuthbert overheard 2 of these outlaws discussing the fact that the lanterns that are in that chamber resemble closely a lantern they've seen in the office of Sheriff Cubbins back in town. Perhaps your missing lantern can be acquired by raiding his office, trading for it. Goodness knows. What are you doing?
We are going to climb up the sinkhole.
Yeah.
What are you
But
doing?
not while he's
What are you
looking
doing?
down. Why
Get
are we
to the
talking in
chopper.
German? Get to the chopper.
Do it!
Yeah, well, I'm going to climb up and go over the top.
Well, let's have
Okay.
a plan, shall we? Should we try and have a battle plan?
Oh, a plan. That would be
Yes.
a good one.
While you're planning and organising yourselves, obviously very quietly and without the benefit of any light to see each other,
With nighttime hands again.
you think that these guys upstairs, there was JJ and Digger, were the 2 kind of wild men of the wood outlaws. And their boss was
JJ Digger.
JJ and Digger. And then there was their boss was the infamous outlaw Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
Yep.
Madame Wodge of the Lodge. And they had with them some kind of pet Gnoll, which they seem to be securing with a sort of a collar around its neck and a chain. And that's basically what you're dealing with.
Isn't it called Edmonds?
Gnoll Edmonds. Yeah.
Gnoll Edmonds, yeah. Right, so is the guy still at the top of the shaft?
You can't see his head silhouetted anymore. Maybe he's padded off to the others to find out what's gone on with this elevator being summoned.
Right.
Like in an elevator.
So who's going up? And how are we going up?
Tumbleweed for that joke. What?
Yeah, it was awful. Gnoll Edmonds, obviously, is much better.
It's a banker, that one. Yeah.
So, I think I should go up first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing
Well,
you
just-
first, me second.
Can we have a plan?
That sounds like a plan. That sounds like the whole...
That is
Yeah.
a plan, isn't it? What more of a plan?
Have you ever come up with a more comprehensive plan than you first, me second? How much weight will the rope take? You think you're pretty safe ground, but certainly with two people on it, and the python, and obviously, how well secured that is. Obviously, then you've got the other worry, which is that if they notice you, then somebody might just cut that rope.
Yes.
But I mean, that's almost certainly not going to happen.
Almost.
Almost.
All of you on the rope in a long line, right near the top, and then
What's
just
the worst that can happen?
my opportunity to just plunge you all to your doom, landing on the kid at the bottom and severing his spinal cord.
What can go wrong?
We still need somebody steadying off at the bottom because that will make the climbing easier.
I'm happy to steady the bottom.
It's extra. So these guys are distracted. You can hear. What is it? What's going on? Somebody go down and have a look.
All right, I'm going to go up the
Madame
rope.
Wodge is like,
One of you go down and have a look. One of you must go down and have a look. Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
That's what she talks.
yeah. Well, Johnny came up with the voice. Johnny, can you do Madame Wodge of the Lodge?
Madame Wodge.
Madame Wodge of the
Sorry,
Lodge.
it's been a few years. Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
Anyway, so
Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
is like,
Go in and have a look at the elevator.
I'm not going down there. Are you mad? And then you hear either JJ or Digger go, I'll have a look. I'll go and have a quick look.
All right, so they're distracted, so let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to go stealthily up the rope. I'd like to roll a stealth check, please. if I
Yes,
may.
yes.
So,
Do it. Do it.
getting. Oh my god. I hope the rest of it goes like that. I get 24, 19 on the dice.
Okay, so you're as silent as mist. Does anybody else want to just follow straight on?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Not too closely, mind you. You've got a slightly pointy head. It could be uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially if Paul falls.
That would be more than uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'd say that'd be invasive.
Why? What might happen?
Well, one might be inserted into the other. A very quick way of multiclassing.
My eyes would light up, I can tell you.
No, my eyes would light up.
Certainly would. We would have seen through his belly button.
Clunk.
Anyway, we are not going to insert Parker up Cuthbert's digestive tract.
Reverse gravity.
There's other games where that happens, I'm sure. Shadowrun, for example. So, Parker following straight up. Do you want to make a stealth check?
16. I think 16's...
16's pretty decent. So you both stealth. I presume that you're keeping your heads below the level of the floor, so you're not peeking out, or are you?
It's up to Cuthbert. I'm still coming up the rope behind him, actually.
So are you prairie dogging out of the hole? That's a really horrible phrase. Are you popping your head out of the top of the sinkhole, Cuthbert?
Yeah, I'm popping my head up and taking a quick look.
Basically, you don't see very much. You can see into the room. You can see the sarcophagus in front of you. The noise is all coming from your right, which you know is the little passageway that leads down towards the yellow lantern. You can see torchlight coming in from out that passageway, and the sound of sort of cautious voices, northern voices, the sound of the bandits, basically. Can you give me a perception check?
Yeah, I can certainly give you a perception check. 2 seconds. On my perception, I get an 11.
Okay, that's pretty much what you know. Who's following up behind then? So those guys are at the top. Are you putting 3 or 4 people on the rope at once?
3, I think, is the limit.
Well, I don't mind going up, but I'm a halfling. I'm light, so.
Oh, good point.
Me and my cousin Sessions could go up at the same time.
Yeah. I'm not that light.
Bit tubby.
A bit portly.
Well, let's have some stealth checks from these two halflings.
Stealth is +3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Graham rolls a natural 1.
For 1.
Okay, so you, Graham, you must surely drop something,
A bell.
or you sneeze, or something like that.
Or complain.
you're very, very fortunate because just at the very moment that you make that noise, you can hear, and Cuthbert can certainly hear. I'm gonna see what happens, and like you hear it. It's like, oh, what's going on?
And you stay inside and see what happens. Stay inside but see what happens.
I think the doors are closing. Oh, hold up. Should I?
You just stay in there.
You hear a bit of a rumble starts. There's a little bit of a rumble. You think the elevator is descending, clearly with one of these bandits in it.
This is, of course, True Blues Brothers style, because then you cut to us climbing up the rope. The only thing we're not doing is going hut, 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 hut.
Yeah, we cut to outside the tomb, and there are 35 police cars crashing into each other as they come up the hill. Okay, so this weird kind of music starts upstairs, sessions, and clearly they're so distracted by that the fact that you sneezed seems to have been missed. So, Cuthbert, what do you want to do? You're at the top.
Cuthbert's going to kind of slide over on to his belly, and if he's hunkered down low, can any of them see him? Can he see them?
No, you can see. So you're in a circular chamber, as you know, with
Yes.
passages radiating off all around. The first passage, I think, to your right. So if you're at 6 o'clock, the passageway at about 4 o'clock is where the light is coming from and the noise is coming from, and there's nobody visible there. Give me another perception check.
I'll give you another perception check. 19.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a good perception check. And what you detect is that though you can hear
Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
and either Digger or JJ discuss that,
I wonder what's happened to him. I wonder where he's gone.
I don't know. I mean, it's all very arcane and dangerous. I don't like this at all. Over that sound, you can hear a snuffling, like a canine snuffling, and that seems to be a lot closer. It's possible that Gnoll Edmonds is waiting just at the entrance to the yellow corridor, just tucked out of sight, sniffing the air.
Okay. Well, I would like to stay out of sight. What I want to do is get into a hidden position where I can draw my weapons.
You could kind of hunker along the wall to your left and work your way round into the next passageway along, or you could back down to the sinkhole again, and there you'd be completely shielded.
No, I think what I'll do is, like you said, I'm going to hunker down, slide along the wall, and just nip round.
Okay, give me a stealth check at advantage.
Stealth check at advantage. My first roll gives me not very much, over 7, and my second roll gives me a 19.
Okay, 19's great.
Is it possible when we clamber out of the sinkhole, because there's the section of corridor, I assume that we can sort of, if we stay along the wall, and if they looked over in our direction, they wouldn't actually see us because we could.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Cuthbert wasn't given any reason to pause until he got to the end of the green corridor when he was about to enter the main body of the room itself. That's when he made his perception.
Well, I mean, I'd just follow Cuthbert basically.
So you sellotape yourself to the wall and you smear your way round the other way, following Cuthbert.
Yes.
Okay. Well, give me a not a perception check. Give me a stealth check. Sorry.
Okay. 20.
Okay. Very nice. So the two of you are very kind of ninja-like, working your way round. And while you're doing that, the two halflings clearly can follow up.
Will do.
Yeah. Can I get another couple of stealth checks from those two guys? Don't roll anything awful.
11.
Oh, much better. 22.
22 is very good. The 11 is not world-beating. Let me just see if anybody's come up with it.
I'm not carrying any metal things, really. Well, apart from daggers. Actually, I lie.
Yeah, you got the...
but I'm not wearing any armor. I mean, I'm just a
You almost don't need to make a roll, is what you're saying. It's like, basically... Okay. And then let's pick up with... we've got the kid, and we've got Burple Herpish. What are you doing?
I'm going to tell the kid to wait at the bottom.
Yes.
And then I'm going to climb.
Stealth check?
Yeah, coming up. 21.
Very nice. God, you're doing really well here. Who wants to do what? Nobody.
Well, I'm going to have a climbing whenever there's an opportunity.
From my vantage point, are there any tunnels on the opposite side of the room that I can see that I can lob another ball bearing down?
Yes, you could. Well, you can see from where you're standing, you're in the blue passageway. That's where you've slunk into in order to stay concealed. And you're looking back into the room. You can see the sarcophagus, which is actually pointing up the yellow passageway. And you could conceivably throw a ball bearing right across the room into the passage opposite you, which is the red passage, or at an angle into the orange. You can definitely do it.
I think I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I think I'm going to get a ball bearing up the red passage.
It's a family program.
It was all just. It all settled down. Roll to hit armor class 10.
Roll to hit armor class 10. 20.
Very nice. Okay. Well, that's a success. Your ball bearing rattles down that corridor, and let's have people who are now aware of each other, as in the sense that there's things to be aware of. Don't worry, they don't know that you're there. And I think we should probably roll for initiative.
Hey, rolling.
Right.
Woo. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. 4.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oops.
Okay. So let's go round. Cuthbert, what'd you get?
I got a massive 10.
Oh. What? I got a 21.
Parker got a 21. What did Sessions get?
13.
And then, Grimbold. What did Grimbold get?
6.
6. Oh
You
dear.
could at least sound a bit more enthusiastic about it.
And then, for the purposes of completeness, what about Burple Herpish?
4.
4. Okay.
Enthusiastic enough for you?
Purple Hubbish can stand at the back and sing.
Well, that's true. I can do stuff from there, but probably not very good stuff.
So let's get started. And Parker, on 21, you're first. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Well, I'd like to do something.
But you're not up yet.
Nobody sounded like they're doing anything.
We're waiting for Parker.
Yeah, the way that the order works, Johnny, is that we start with the person with the highest number and then we work our way down.
It didn't work like that back in his day.
No.
Okay, so the thing is the minute I move, right, basically then they're gonna.
Yeah.
So
You might want to
are we
hold.
going in? Is it attacker or do we?
I think my view is that we wait until they've gone past. It gives us a chance to actually move up and engage.
Gone past where?
Well, they're going to go down, possibly, theoretically, they're going to go down the red passage. They're going to go and investigate. So maybe stay out of sight. And then at least we can enter the room and we've got the others who are coming up the road. And at least there's a team of us rather than just a couple of us.
Yeah, all right, well, I'll wait then.
And we're waiting
Yeah,
for
that's-
Grimbold to do
Yeah.
whatever his defensive spells are.
So as soon as I see that you guys are basically here, then we can attack, right? You're going to get to the end of the green tunnel where it opens out, and then we're at the moment are at the edge of the blue tunnel near the skeleton, and then we're effectively all one move away, and then we can all charge in.
Perhaps at this point, what we really need is just a recap on all the tunnels and the lanterns and the state they're in.
Hey, let's go round it again. No.
Move on. Nothing to see here.
Do you want to do anything on 21?
No, so I'm going to wait until I see that the other guys are ready.
So slow and inefficient.
On 14, they act. As soon as that, so the ball bearing goes down the tunnel, makes a little rattling sound. You hear, and the Gnoll darts out the passageway and starts heading down towards the red passageway, looking for the noise, and then gets brought up short on the chain that's attached to the collar around its neck, and it's going, and you hear,
What's the matter? What's the matter?
and the chain slackens off a bit as Madame Wodge of the lodge emerges, and she is behind it, holding onto the chain, and is peering off towards the red passageway, and looks over her shoulder at whoever is behind her and says,
Stay where you are.
she has a scimitar in her hand, and in her other hand she's got a torch which she's holding up high above her head. She's got a chance, albeit a very slim chance, of spotting Parker there. She looks right at him and doesn't see him because you're, in the dark and you're not speaking, so your eyes aren't lighting up. Next, it is Sessions Epa on 13.
Yeah, I will disembark from the rope and hide in the corner.
Okay, and then what about Cuthbert? What does Cuthbert want to do on 10?
I think what Cuthbert wants to do is wait. I'm going to wait until she moves on, and then I want to go and scurry behind the sarcophagus.
And so it's Grimbold. What does Grimbold want to do?
Yes, I'm going to move to the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a false life.
Okay, fine. And then finally we have Purple Hairpish.
Well, I'm going to climb the rest of the rope, I guess. So I'm going to climb.
Yeah, so you get to the top.
Yeah.
So it's now back to Parker on 21. What do you want to do, Parker?
Grimbold, are you going to now go and attack this woman?
No, I'm waiting, just getting in position.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to charge now, aren't we?
You could shrink back against the northern wall of the bit that you're in to make sure that she couldn't see you if she was to look over.
Yeah. Well, Cuthbert, are we going to go for it? Or are we going to wait for her to stop and turn around and go back into the corridor and then sneaky over?
Well, I was thinking, actually, I regret taking my pause because I was going to throw another ball bearing down the same corridor, but I'll do that in my round.
Yeah, when the time comes. But you're coming up in a bit.
Okay,
so...
well, I will shrink back against... I'm going to move up against the wall.
Yeah, got it. Okay. And then it's...
Let Cuthbert do his thing.
And then it's Madame Wodge and the Gnoll, and they tentatively start working their way south. The Gnoll is sniffing the air. She's following up, holding her torch aloft. They don't seem to have noticed you. And we move on to Sessions.
I will advance to behind Grimbold. Take cover and hide.
And then Cuthbert, you want to throw a ball bearing?
Yeah.
Okay. This time... No, there's nothing. No, don't worry about it. I mean, there's a danger that she'll see this little flash of a projectile in her torchlight heading down, and therefore you'll give yourself away. But there's not much you can do about that.
No, it's a tiny little thing. Shall I? I think what I need to do is roll to hit.
Roll to hit armor class 10.
Roll to hit armor class 10, 15. So I hit.
Okay. Well, that I'm just going to make a quick roll for her. Does she see anything? She's clearly not looking in the right direction to catch the flight of the ball bearing through the torchlight. And the Gnoll, it reacts a little bit to that little flash of light, but it sort of goes, and then it makes a nice clattering noise, and she's like, I know, her brow furrows, and she sort of peers down the passageway. She looks like maybe it was just a noise. Now I think it wasn't just a noise. And we'll move on to Grimbold.
Okay, I'm going to hide. So I suppose it's stealth check. I get an 18. I'm also naturally stealthy and small. And yeah.
Very good. Yep.
That's it. Fast, efficient.
Fast and efficient. Burple.
Quiet.
So I need a ruling from you, Mike.
Yep.
Before I do this, so I've got a spell called Heroism. It's first level spell, and what it does: a willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points. This is the key bit I need a ruling on. And gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each of its turns. So it lasts for up to a minute. It's a concentration spell. Does that mean that you get, in this case, it would be +3 hit points per round of the minute that are cumulative? Do you see what I'm asking? Is it 3 per round? So 3, then 6, then 9, then 12?
No, it's not. No, but it refreshes.
Why not?
Because that's how I'm ruling it.
I don't
Well,
know.
it lasts.
What duration is it?
Up to a minute concentration.
I mean, so
That
When the
technically,
spell ends, the target loses
30
any
hit
remaining
points.
temporary hit points from this spell.
I think what happens is that you get 3 extra. Is it? What's your 3 extra hit points?
Yeah. 3.
You burn through those conceivably in a round, and then they get topped up again each round. But I don't think if you don't burn them that you get another 3, and now you've got 6, and then you have 9. I think that sounds a bit crazy because technically you could be getting 30 hit points in the 10th round.
Yes. But what are you going to do with it? Because then in the 11th round they've all gone.
Well, yeah, but I think that it refreshes rather than accumulates.
Okay. All right then.
You know that's right.
Groan. All right, so I'm going to. Well, I'm still going to do that spell. But I wanted to know what I was getting before I did it, so I'm going to do that spell. Move up behind those guys.
Okay, and that means that now we're back to Parker on 21.
So she's looking south, right?
Yeah, she's looking at the entrance to the red corridor. She's restricting the movement of the Gnoll in front of her because it's attached to her by a chain. She's got a torch held up in one hand, a scimitar in the other.
So I guess now the thing to do would be to sneak round to the entrance to the yellow passage.
It's a bold thing to do, but you could do that, yeah.
We're opening up front, so aren't we?
I mean, have you been counting people?
Not really.
There are 4 of them, and you can see the Gnoll and her. You presume that one of them has descended in this elevator, and that leaves one more, who you must therefore presume is also in the yellow passageway.
Mm-hmm. What, Cuthbert? Are you going to throw another ball bearing?
I think we should go after Madame Wodge. She's hopefully going to go down there. I think what we should do is all meet up in the middle as it kind of as we're all together.
Come on, let's fight.
And then we go and I think we should take her out because she's the leader.
Right, but are you saying that we should wait for her to move further down and then engage, or engage now?
I don't know if it makes much difference.
You're having a kind of whispered, frantic conversation.
Yeah, lots of fingers and commando style.
Really?
Eyes and
You've gone commando with your fingers?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, get out of the way now before the fight starts.
I've got to go toe to toe. So I was hoping to get her further away so I could move up further and then be within striking distance.
Yeah, well, my plan would have been to move to behind the sarcophagus now.
Yes, that's my plan. Get behind the sarcophagus.
No, but that's my plan.
Bloody hell.
My plan, which belongs to me.
Everybody's got the same plan. There's somebody in the yellow passageway looking out into the room.
They'll be able to
You've got to be careful about where you go. That's all I'm saying.
But we can't avoid
Well,
that.
they are going to be looking out.
Yeah. So I reckon we should go to the south east side of the sarcophagus where it's pointing to.
Yeah.
And then from there, mount an attack against Madame Wodge.
I think that's quite a long whispered conversation. Parker, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I am going to do that.
So you're going to sneak?
Yes. So a sneak move.
Yes.
I'm assuming you want a stealth check.
But yeah, I think just to determine whether or not you make an absolute mess of this.
Yes. Which is probably going to happen. And on 3, 2, 1. A 5.
And you make a complete mess of it.
So you you make a little bit of noise as you scurry. Let's just check and see if anybody notices. And I'm afraid that you hear a shout from up the yellow corridor. You can see, you get a glimpse up the yellow corridor as you scutter. That's just a made-up word. As you scurry up to the sarcophagus, and you make a little bit of noise, and Digger, his head whips round, and he peers out into the room. He's holding a torch above his head. Now you think that because of the lighting conditions, he can't see you, but he shouts. He says, "What's that? What's that?" And let's move on to them. He darts out, holding his torch up. I think he's got a very good chance of seeing you. I'm going to roll. Can you make a stealth check, please?
Another one.
Yeah, well, this is to see whether or not you're hiding.
Right. That's more like it. 17.
Okay, so he holds his torch up. He's peering at the sarcophagus. You're hunkered up against it in the shadows around it, and he doesn't see you. But he shouts, "What's that? I heard a noise. I heard a noise over here." And she spins round.
Yeah.
And looks right at you, or right at the sarcophagus, and the Gnoll sort of goes and starts kind of padding towards the sarcophagus. And now it is Sessions Epa.
I think I'm going to ready an action. I'm going to bless the group near me, but only once we're spotted, because it will make noise.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're readying a bless spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you sort of very quietly...
I'm getting all the stuff ready.
Take your holy coin symbol thing out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's move on to Cuthbert, where things may now suddenly kick off a bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking I've got to go and join Parker, and it's kicking off, so let's go and do this. So I'm going to run, weapons out. I'm not making any attempt to be stealthy.
Right.
He's obviously, he has no idea what he's doing. He's 16, he's like, oh, come on then.
Oh, he's northern, is he, now?
Let's have you. Well, you know.
Oh, come on.
When it comes to fighting, everybody's.
Well, he's actually, I think he's got a bit, his voice hasn't properly broken yet. So, come on.
That doesn't sound like his voice hasn't broken. That sounds like he's the elephant man. Okay, so you pile up.
Yeah. I'm going to pile up to.
And you're not making any attempt to be stealthy?
No.
Weapons out.
I'm bringing it on.
Combat mode. Fine. Well, they all see you. And they all go, oh! And the Gnoll goes, and it's time for Grimbold.
What's that creature?
Digger, the big fat
Digger, that's it.
outlaw, came piling out. So you're looking kind of straight at him. And he's concentrating on Cuthbert. You've got milliseconds before he properly looks around.
I'll shoot a firebolt up his arse.
Okay. Make your roll.
Right, so I think it's +5.
Specifically targeting his ass,
Yeah.
So that's.
So do I need an extra roll?
Just as well as we don't have a brown passage recorded on this.
Oh dear.
Right, so this is it. Zzz.
Yep.
Rolling an 18.
An 18 is a hit. And how much damage do you do?
Firebolt does 1d10.
Okay.
Oh, 2 points of damage. That's a bit rubbish.
2 points of damage.
You're on fire.
2 points of damage. And then I'm going to...
and then you're going to run away, aren't you?
Well, something like that, yes. I'm just going to... I want to go behind...
Everybody else.
Purple Herpish.
What? And I was going to bless you.
Well, I'm still in range, aren't I?
You're in range, but I can't see you anymore.
Purple Herpish. It's your go on 4.
So Purple Herpish.
Well, I will do the bless spell anyhow with my readied action.
Okay, so you trigger your ready action, that's fine. Bang. So who gets selected? How many people can you affect?
3 characters of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Me.
Yep.
That one.
Purple Herpish.
And me.
And
Cuthbert.
Unfortunately, you're out of range, so it's going to have to be Grimbold.
Ho 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 ho.
Oh, for God's sake, that's a waste.
What do I get?
I just can't believe it.
Smacking the chops.
You get to add a D4 to your attack rolls or saving throws.
Yippee.
He doesn't do any attack rolls.
I know.
Yippee. Loser.
So yeah, one wasted spell.
So Purple Herpish, by my calculation,
Yeah.
can't quite get to him. Although the squares are slightly confusing me. So we'll move to there instead, kind of sort of nonchalantly dusting himself off. You know, it's just like, whoa, bloody hell. Oh, hello. We'll kind of...
Preparing to sing, isn't he?
No, he's basically trying to sort of confuse them.
Is he like the bard out of Asterix?
No. Well, I suppose he could be. Yeah, it could
Getting
be.
cacophonics.
I'm going to inspire courage in
Thank you.
Cuthbert
Yes.
as a bonus action, and I will draw my sword, I suppose.
Okay, busy round. Parker, what do you want to do?
Hurrah.
We're back to the top. Parker on 21. Round 4, I'm thinking.
That's the second round of that's one round of heroism gone.
What does Inspire Courage do again?
It gives you a D6 to use on things.
Yeah.
Right, okay, good.
Once the creature within the next 10 minutes, you can use it to add the number roll to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. And you can do it after you've seen the roll, but before you find out whether it's a success or failure.
Pretty cool.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, so it's Parker.
Yeah. Okay, so just a bit of tactics. They go directly after me, right?
They most certainly
They go
do.
on 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I
Ready
think
in action.
Nothing's happened since my round, right?
Nothing's happened since your
Can I
round.
tack something onto my round? Can I ready?
You moved.
I did a bonus action. I didn't use an action.
No. Well, I think Graham.
Too late now.
How does that? I think you ready an action, so you can't. The action
can't
that
delay,
you
but
the action that you took is the thing that you would
happens.
ready.
Okay.
Hopefully that's right. Yes, that is right. That's correct. That's 100% correct. I know what I'm doing. That's correct. So you can't take anything. You can take a free action on. You can shout something, for example, or I don't know.
Okay.
No, I just
style something out.
Ready
floss.
to hit the guy if he can run up to me.
Okay, so
right, I'm going to move. There's a move to Digger, and I'm going to wallop him.
Okay, wallop away.
So first.
Oh, sorry,
short sword.
Graham.
Dan can ready an action. It's his react. He used the ready action to enable your reaction to be an action. So the action is to ready, and then your reaction becomes your action. So you can't take a second reaction.
Graham, you're absolutely right. I'm very sorry, Dan. Sorry to interrupt your round, Parker. We can rewind a bit, but what did you want? You wanted to ready.
Well, if I'm allowed to
If he
re-roll,
runs up, if that guy runs up, it makes no difference. If
it
that
makes
guy
no
runs
difference.
up-
Yeah, you've got a readied action to thump anything that runs up to you.
Correct.
Fine. We could leave that as it is. Sorry about that. There's me sounding all confident. Anyway, Parker, sorry, back to you. You're going to be doing some thumpage.
yes. Well, I rolled already before that happened, so I assume that roll stands.
Yeah, it kind of does. What did he
I
get?
got hits armor class 10.
Armor class 10 is not enough. He's wearing leather armor. You don't think he's like super difficult to hit, but
Okay,
10
so
is
then
not enough.
my unarmed strike on him is a 17,
17 is a hit.
doing 5 points of damage.
5 points de damage sur la tête de la... oh, he's not a
So
monster.
he literally gets a whack in the face. Fist
Okay.
in the face.
Well, he's taken a little bit now. He's taken a bit from you and a bit from the firebolt, and it's now them. So he is annoyed with you.
Oh, yes.
And what he's going to do is he's going to go, "You wanker!" and he's going to have a thump at you with his short sword. And he hits armor class 14.
Oh, that's just a hit. Exactly.
It's just a hit, okay. And that does 5 points of damage.
Ooh.
And then because he hasn't moved, he's able to have another go, I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
This is not going to
Hitting
end well.
only armor class 13.
Yes.
Is that
That's
a miss? Okay.
This is
Lucky you.
This is
Right.
a very lucky
Madame
me, yes.
Madame Wodge of the Lodge interacts with an object for free to unclip the chain that is fastening the Gnoll to her. Yeah? And then she moves, she piles up towards Cuthbert, and I don't think she can make it. She can't quite get there. Yeah? And then the Gnoll scampers, he gets up onto the sarcophagus, and he's kind of rearing above you, Cuthbert. What you can see is that he's now got, he's pulled a spear out from obviously a kind of strap on his back, and he's got that in one hand. He's missing the other hand. It's just a stump. Yeah? And he can't get to you either. And so we move on to Sessions Epa.
Okay, Sessions, I will move just out so I can see Parker. Yep.
Gonna need a heal. The bane of being first level. If he hits me again, I'm probably dead.
Okay, well, we'll deal with that next round. Because he and I have to get right up to you. But this round, I'm going to invoke the sound of the dying on that one attacking you.
Toll the Dead or whatever it's
Toll
called.
the Dead.
Oh,
Yep.
That's a good one.
So it needs to make a DC 12 Wisdom save.
Okay, it has a shot at that, and it makes that save, I'm afraid, with a 15.
Okay. Doesn't do anything then.
Okay, and now it's Cuthbert.
Cuthbert's going to go and position himself, interposing her between him and the Gnoll, and he's going to have his 2 attacks. The first attack is going to be with the rapier, and he's going to say, "On guard!"
Yes.
And he rolls a 12.
12 is a miss. She's wearing studded leather.
Sorry, I should have done the d6 before you came in with that. Okay.
Dan, does he have to say before about the d6, or can he add it on afterwards?
Once he rolls the number, but before he knows the result.
So,
Oh, so no, I told him that he'd missed.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to then roll the short sword. Oh, well, it's a natural 20.
Okay. That's obviously that's a hit. That's a critical.
That's a critical, so I'm going to do 2d8 plus 3. Oh, lovely.
14 points.
14 points of damage.
Well, that's pretty serious. She doesn't like that at all.
Come on, witch, have it.
Come on, witch, have it. Yep. All trace of northern accent gone. She goes,
I'm going to kill you, that's what I'm going to do.
no,
I am Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
it's Grimbold's round.
Right, Grimbold will go. Move.
He's so far back you can't even see him.
No, Grimbold is going to adjust his watch for his own time zone.
I'm moving in front of Sessions Epa, and I'm going to fire another firebolt. So the bless
At who?
add that to the damage or the
No, it's attack rolls or saving throws.
attack rolls.
Yeah, so the firebolt is an attack roll, so you get to add the d4 to that.
Yeah.
Right, do I roll before or after the d4?
No, you do it always.
Okay, so this is my roll without the d4. So I roll 24. That's going to hit anyway. And I do 10 points of fire damage.
Oh, well done.
10 points on.
Madame Wodge.
Okay, well she doesn't look well at all. She looks last legs-ish, I have to say.
I say surrender.
I'll never surrender. I am Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
And it's Burple's round.
Okay, so I will first of all do Bardic Inspiration on Parker.
Lovely. What does that give me?
It's a d6 that you can use whenever you want on saving throws. I always forget.
It's a gift voucher.
It's basically a d6 gift voucher.
Yeah, it's like a shit present.
It's a discount.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't give you money, so I'm giving you this instead.
Do I have to elect to use it before I do the attack roll?
God. Oh my god.
All right, so look, you can use it on ability checks, attack rolls.
We did this last time.
We did it 5 minutes ago.
It's a d6. You can use it anytime you like, as long as you don't know the result. So after you've rolled, you can roll to hit, and if you think it's a miss, you can go, I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration, which gives you an extra d6. Okay, so that's the first thing I do as a bonus action.
Yes.
Then basically I'm going to move to right next to the guy.
Yes.
And I'm going to
next to Digger.
smite him. I'm going to smite Digger.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean, oh?
Well, I don't know. It's just not very friendly. Okay, anyway, yeah,
Well,
whatever.
You just tried to hit my friend.
Oh, whatever, okay, yeah.
I'm going to smite him with this blow, hitting... Oh, I didn't believe it. It was all going so well until I tried to hit anything. So hitting armor class 5. I suppose I'm not at advantage. Am I at advantage?
No.
Natural 1.
Yeah. It's not
Well,
good.
we're not playing fumbles. You missed. That's the important thing.
That's not the important thing.
Round 5 of our wonderful fight. We start with Parker. Parker, can you dig yourself out of the hole that you're in?
I can try. So I'm going to whomp him.
Yes, whomp away at Digger, yep.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So before you say anything,
I'm not going to say a word.
You're
Yep.
not going to say a word?
No, I might make a noise, but it will be non-committal.
I think you don't want to bother.
Yeah. I don't think we don't want to bother with that. And then with the unarmed strike, I don't think I want to bother with that either.
Is that 2 1s? 2 natty 1s, I think.
2 1s.
2 1s. That follows the one that I got.
3 consecutive 1s.
3 1s in a row.
What an absolute shit show.
We're basically punching each other.
I'm going to give up playing this game immediately.
Well, you might get no
2
choice.
ones in a row.
That decision may be taken out of your hands, Parker.
Yes.
Okay, which is ironic for a monk. It's them. It's Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
Madame Wodge of the Lodge. I'm going to stab you now.
Bring it on.
She has a welly with her scimitar. She drops her torch and draws a dagger. It looks like she's going to get a load of attacks on you, Cuthbert.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say. Here comes the first attack, which is the scimitar.
Here it comes.
Here it comes, stabbing in your face. Oh, fuck. No, she rolls a 5. Second attack with the scimitar. 18.
That hits.
Yes, that's more like it. You take the following damage as allocated by the International Damage Commission. You take 6 points of slashing damage.
Thank you so much.
And then the dagger.
Mere scratch.
The dagger is not as potent, but let's see what happens. She rolls an 8.
Miss.
The Gnoll is a crazed nutter, and it is going to go for a random person. It's going to go 1, 2, Cuthbert, 3, 4, Purple Herfish, 5, 6, Parker. It goes for Parker. Dun, dun. Do you want an attack of opportunity, Cuthbert, on it as it runs past?
Damn right I do.
Yeah, kill it.
Oh.
What an absolute shit show.
You could add your D6 if you have one.
I could add my D6 to that.
Do you wanna?
How many times can I add this D6?
Once.
No, I don't.
You're not going to add your d6. Oh, you never know now whether or not you could have saved Parker's little green life.
Not with one attack, I couldn't.
It goes, and it attacks with its spear, and it hits the following armor class. It hits the armor class of 12.
No!
Cock.
It's a miss.
Fucking stupid. No fucking Edmonds. Rubbish.
Yeah.
Can't kill anybody. Right, moving on
Oh, Edmonds.
to Digger. He's got a choice of either Purple Herpy or Parker. He is going to go for 1 to 3 Purple Herpish, 4 to 6 Parker.
4 to 6 Parker.
Parker.
Oh, I want bloody Parker punch bag.
Yeah.
He hits armor class 18.
Oh,
Oh dear. That is another 5 points of damage.
clunk. Puts me on -1.
So you're down.
I'm down.
Down. Parker is down. Oh dear, oh dear.
Down.
And now it is Sessions Epa.
Sessions EPA. I think Sessions is going to toll the dying on Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
What's the saving throw?
Will save DC 12.
She rolls a 19, I'm afraid. She goes,
You're looking to get me with your new big pound.
and now it's Cuthbert. Can Cuthbert roll
Come on,
higher than 1?
Cuthbert.
Can Cuthbert roll higher than 1?
Finish
He's going to
her.
attack.
Kill them.
Oh,
No.
he's going to take his D6 to add to that.
Slay her with your sword.
So that becomes a 17.
17 is a hit, and it would have been a miss. That was a very wise decision.
So he's going to do this plus 3, doing 9 points of damage on her in the first attack.
9 points of damage.
Doing 9 points of damage.
You skewer her through the throat. She goes
Dicko's going to get stabbed in the throat.
and dies.
Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
Brilliant.
You'll long remember the name of Madame Wodge of the Lodge.
She was going to be a brilliant kind. Anyway, whatever. You've just fucked everything up. It's just a fucking disaster. This. Right.
And then I get a
yeah.
move, and I get another attack.
Against Digger.
No, the Gnoll.
No.
Hitting armor class 21.
Fuck. I mean, yes, that's correct. That's enough.
This is
And
a
he
killing machine.
does 5 plus 3, 8 points of damage.
Noel Edmonds looks unhappy.
That's my round.
Well, that was an incredibly successful round. Grimbold.
Grimbold is going to fire another firebolt at this time at the Gnoll, and he's going to roll this a 7. I'm going to roll my extra 1d4. So that's 10. Is that a hit?
10 is a miss. No, no, no. Is it?
And then I'm going to move back to a safe distance, retreating slightly. Because, let's face it, folks, I'm a sorcerer, not a fighter. And my firebolt has a range of 120 feet, so why should I put myself in danger?
Okay, Purple Happy.
Alright, so I have a decision to make here. I've got one spell left.
Yep.
That spell is either a Dissonant Whispers,
Yeah.
which basically does 3d6, and a fear So wisdom saving throw.
How can you do all this as a first level bard?
It's just skill and technique.
No fair.
Just relax with other people's.
Greatness.
I could do that and basically cause the older guy, what's his name, to run away.
Mm-hmm.
3d6, and he has to run away.
Grimbold is like that person you're like, I had some really good news today, by the way. I got that promotion I was after. And he goes, oh yeah, good, great, that's great news.
No, but the other thing I can do is a cure light wounds.
Oh, well, Parker's got a death saving throw coming up as the very next thing.
It's his first one, right?
Yeah.
This is his first one, yeah. Yeah, he's fine, unless he rolls a 1.
How's the Gnoll looking? I could also hit something.
I would hit something.
Yeah.
You think I should hit something?
Take out the guns.
All right.
Because I do spare the dying on Parker next round.
The Gnoll and Digger look about equally injured, and they look equally strong.
Get the Gnoll.
Yeah, let's take out the guns. So on the Gnoll then, persuaded to take my attack. Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Unbelievable.
I told you I shouldn't do that.
Parker, don't roll a 1. Parker, it's your first death saving throw.
So
It's 2 1s.
Run away!
I'm going to roll them 1d. Can I roll my 1d6 as well, or is that not something
No.
I can do anymore?
That's a good question.
Saving throw.
It's a saving throw.
I don't think so.
It's a death saving throw.
I don't think you can add anything to it.
No, you can't add anything to it.
All right, fair enough. Death saves. Here we go.
Makes
yes. One
Makes
success.
it just the skin of his
Yeah.
eyes. And now it is the Gnoll was going to decide whether or not. Well, Parker's down, so the Gnoll is going to go for Cuthbert.
Parker's down.
Parker's
purple.
down, man.
Yeah, he's
Parker's down.
So it's
All purple.
basically it's Parker
As
Gnoll.
usual.
Or purple.
Parker Gnoll.
I can't believe I didn't think of
Or purple.
Right, the Gnoll is going to have.
Is the Gnoll not going to be demoralised because its owner's just been cured?
That's not the worst question I've ever heard. No, it's not. It's going to go for
Or
It's
purple.
free now.
or Burple. It could go for Burple Herbie. Okay,
He's the bigger threat. He's just hit it.
1 to 3, it goes for Burple Herbish. 4 to 6, it goes for Cuthbert. It goes for Cuthbert.
Yes.
If it's, I suppose if it's Parker Knoll, you could say it's a bit unseated, but I don't know whether that joke's not too far.
That's awful. I mean, it doesn't really work either. I mean, nobody would say nobody would say anything about things being unseated. I'm just trying to couch it in terms that you'll understand. The Gnoll will go for Cuthbert, and it will almost certainly hit him. I'm saying that this is bad. It's going with the spear, and it hits the following armor class. It hits the armor 13.
Miss.
Cock. Okay, and then Digger is going to go for Burple Herbie.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he's got nobody else to go for, and he is
go for Parker. He's still.
he just stamps on Parker's funny little head. 18, armor class 18. I'm afraid that's yeah. So then it's 5 points of damage as recognised by the International Damage Council.
Damage.
And now it is Sessions Epa.
Yes.
God, struggle to. I suppose. Quite like the idea of Sessions being like that. Well, if we have to.
If I have to move, he'll sneak up down the wall to spare the dying on Parker.
Yes,
And
a good use of a round.
that's what he'll do.
Mike.
Yes.
With concentration spells, you have to do something when you're hit, right?
You do. You have to make a concentrate. Oh God, here we go.
10 or half the damage, whichever's higher.
What is it? 10 plus half the damage.
10 or half the
Oh, so it says
damage.
DC 10. What?
What save?
You roll a D20 and you add your spellcasting ability.
I don't remember.
Oh cock.
We'll look it up.
Let's look it up. That's what D&D's all about. Always makes great radio. Where's it going to be? Anybody any idea?
Spells.
Spellcasting. I've got spellcasting here. Here we go. What is a spell? Oh, this is the stuff I should be reading before we play, really. Casting the time, range, components, blah, 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 duration, no. Concentration. Whenever you take damage while you are concentrating on a spell, you must make a constitution saving throw to maintain your concentration. The DC equals 10 or half the damage you take, so 10. So roll a D20, add your constitution modifier.
D20. It's a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, so you're adding a con modifier to the roll.
You could have proficiency, I guess, depending on your class.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
You don't? Okay.
Alright, so I need a 10 on this roll. I've got
Okay, so
And can you
so
try and
that's
roll
gone
above a 5?
4.
So I've lost the spell.
You've lost the spell. It's fallen down the back of the sofa. That's not good. Okay, well, thank you for being so honest, though. And there's a special way that I reward that kind of behaviour.
There's another monster. The lift arrives at the top, and then he's actually got all his pals with him.
Disgorges Beelzebub and his minions. Right, Sessions has done that. It's now the shining star of our party, the utterly hopeless Cuthbert.
Okay, so he's going to do his 2 attacks. The first attack on the Gnoll. 24.
Yes.
Yes, doing 11 points of damage.
The Gnoll looks deeply unwell, but it's still alive.
And then he's got his second attack, hitting armor class 10.
Okay.
Does the bless affect saving throws?
It does. It's saving throws. D4.
Yeah, but I rolled a 4 anyway.
Remembering to add it onto your attacks as well.
Yeah, no, I forgot that. But I've been rolling 1, so it hasn't really made a difference.
No, absolutely no difference. Bless in the very loosest sense. Okay, so that was Cuthbert. Now it is 41 years of experience from a very long way away.
And the Gnoll's looking very weak, isn't it? Ha ha ha.
It's looking pretty weak.
I'm going to fire another firebolt at it. Oh, come on.
11.
11.
11 is not enough to hit the Gnoll.
Bugger.
So, Burple Herbie.
Alright, I don't have much choice. I'm going to use my spell on the guy in front of me.
This is Digger you're talking about.
Digger the Outlaw. Who's the one that's gone down in the lift?
JJ.
JJ. So Digger, wisdom saving throw.
No, he fucks it up. No, he rolls a 6.
Okay, so first thing that happens is he takes some damage. He takes the following damage. 10 points of damage.
Oof.
10 points of psychic damage.
Doesn't like that at all.
And must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Nice.
Yes, I mean it does. So it's going to run away from you. He's going to run south back towards the exit. And you get an attack of opportunity?
Oh, I guess I do. Excellent. Yes. It gets better. I hadn't thought of that. So I need this thing over here. I'm going to roll my attack with my longsword, getting not a 1, getting a 20.
Bloody hell. You only had 2 hit points left. Okay, I mean, as he's running away from you, you just sink your longsword into his back, and it spears out the other side, sticks out through his chest, and he falls off your longsword to the floor, dead. Massively successful round from Purple. Parker, you are down. You're not making death saving throws, but you're not doing anything, so you're just lying there like a pudding.
As usual. Story of my life.
All we've got left is the Gnoll. Crazed with anger, it lashes out at one of the 3 people that it can attack. It will go for 1-2 Cuthbert, 3-4 Burple, 5-6 Sessions Eeper. The first time, I think, in the whole adventure, the Sessions Eeper has even been under the threat. And he doesn't. It's Burple. Okay.
Well,
Burple, it has a pop at Burple.
About time.
It hits armor class 23.
Oh dear.
And so Burple takes 5 points of piercing damage.
5 points of piercing damage.
No.
Yep. And now it's Sessions Eeper.
I'm going to toll the dying on the Gnoll. They're going to make a wisdom save, DC 12.
It rolls a 7, then I don't think that's going to be enough. Let me just absolutely check. It's not enough. How much damage is that?
It's wounded, yeah?
Yeah, very.
Ooh, very. It's D12. 11 points of damage.
Well done.
It just collapses.
It hears the sound.
Yeah,
of its
the
maker.
psychic damage just goes and is dead.
Nice.
And you have successfully killed 3 things. That was pretty tough, guys. That was actually pretty tough.
Yeah, that was really good.
And it was wise to wait for the elevator to go down and not have to handle 4 people.
Loot the bodies.
I want to search Madame Wodge.
We need to polish off this. So at some point he's going to come back up again, so we need to be ready for that. We also need to get the kid up. So let's start by searching the body.
I want to search Madame
start
Wodge.
getting important stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Gnoll has got a spear on it, a standard spear. Other than that, it's got nothing.
Is somebody going to heal me?
I'll heal you with my other spell.
You going to roll it?
And I'm going to let you roll it. D8 plus 2.
6. That's acceptable. Average.
Could be worse.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's good combat. We did well.
Sort of fun.
Madame Wodge,
The look.
there's not massively exciting stuff going on here. Madame Wodge has got a scimitar. She has a dagger. She has a suit of studded leather. She's got some bits of kind of dried meat and stuff in a little bag. She's obviously been living off the land and not very successfully by the looks of her. She looks a little bit scrawny, yeah. And there's a few coppers, but there's nothing. Maybe whatever she had on her when she fled town. Digger has got a short sword. He's got a heavy crossbow, which he never got an opportunity to use. He's wearing leather armor. Again, he's got some bits and bobs of kind of trail rationy, well, not even that, like biltongy kind of stuff, like dried bits of stuff, and maybe they've killed a sheep up in the hills and kind of dried or sort of smoked the meat. And the Gnoll's got nothing. The Gnoll's just a sort of raggedy little piece of rubbish.
Can I have the studded leather? Anyone else want it?
I might do.
Do any of these things look like they have special quality?
No, they all look like standard stuff, and it's all quite kind of weather beaten, and none of them has had a wash in 6 months.
I've already got studded leather, so I don't need.
What else are you going to do?
Well, so we've got to go and call the boy and tell him
We'll
to...
get him to tie the rope around his waist, and we'll pull him up.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's absurdly grateful, and when he sees the dead bodies, he just looks at you with kind of admiration. He just looks like, I thought I was a goner. You think you're probably going to get a free meal at the Rusty Bucket when he tells his story.
Can we?
Let's pull the bodies out of the way so they're not visible.
Yeah. Let's drop him down. We could get from him.
When he comes back I was thinking when the final guy comes up.
Yeah, so we can push him. We can drop him down the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hole we've climbed down, or the hole he's travelled down?
The hole we've
The
climbed.
hole
you mean
we
this
came
is-
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
The green
Toss them
lantern.
through.
I think
Maybe
what we-
just lay them out a little bit, sort of.
I think we need the last lantern,
Yeah, I think we should.
and the last lantern is
Yeah.
in town.
Yes, I do. I think we need to go off and get the last lantern.
If we go now, we'll go before he gets up. He won't even know it's us.
Exactly. So we're going to leave. We take a short rest.
But surely if we take a short rest, there's a chance that he'll come back
It's an
up again
hour.
during
Isn't
the
a short rest an hour?
Short rest is
Yeah.
an hour, but you don't have to take the short rest here.
No.
Yeah.
Let's go back to town and take a
Yeah,
rest.
let's go
Yes.
back to town and take a
Before
rest.
going to town.
Just before we go, on the way out, I'm going to pick up more of that obsidian.
You're going to gather as much of it as you can.
Yeah.
From the little apparatus, okay? And you've got your little brass probbings, your sketches of the glyphs and stuff.
Yep.
So you head out
We head
with
out.
the boy. It's been snowing. Snow covers the ground. It's freezing cold. Your horses are still there, and you're able to get onto the company road, which is the name of the road that comes back out from all these little old mining encampments and kind of mine heads, and head back to town. And as you start your journey, you gain 2nd level.
Whee!
And I think that we should leave things there. Thanks for playing.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
That's good.
It's been a joy.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Whispering Can and The Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Whispering Can was written by Eric Mona. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening.